Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rena and today I will be filming my June book haul. I did so bad this month. I got a total of I think 26 books. I was kind of like rewarding myself for I don't even know. Annual problem with our generation is finding a good way to spend it. My sister is outside watching Phineas and Ferb. Okay, so in the beginning of the month of June, I went to New York, and of course when you go to New York, you kind of have to go visit the Strand and the bookstore in New York. There I got 10 books, so let's just jump into this. This is going to be so many books. Forgive me if I don't know the complete summaries or the complete synopsis of each book. I like going to books sometimes completely blank, so you know I'm kind of no expectations. I'm just kind of blown away by what I read. So I'm gonna try to give you a summary, but if I'm not accurate, you know, leave a comment down below correcting me. I'm totally fine with that. Don't take offense if I'm wrong about it. It's just me. Let's do this, I guess. So, the first book I have already read and I did a review on. I will link that down below. It is Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. Now, this book is about our main character, Harper, who's kind of like a Southern belle, like a perfect kind of homecoming queen. She's gonna do the cotillion, just the whole, the whole shebang. The night of her homecoming dance, she kind of, something happens to her and she becomes this ninja assassin. They're called like paladins. She's destined to protect someone, and this someone just so happens to be her arch nemesis, David Stark. As this is going on, she has to protect him. She's slowly starting to fall in love with him. I definitely would recommend this book. You should go check it out, give it a read if you haven't read it yet. It's really good. You know, the Rena stamp. I am so weird. Please read me. I'm like weirdly weird. It is the first two books in its trilogy, the Grisha trilogy. It is Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm. Leigh Bardugo. There you go. I was having the worst time trying to pronounce that. This book I feel like needs an explanation, and it's kind of hard for me to kind of give a synopsis about this. About a main character who finds out she has powers and is like kind of enlisted into this this royal court with other people who have superpowers, called the Grisha. This royal court is supposed to be fighting this thing called the Fold, which is an unnatural darkness crawling with monsters that threatens their lands and stuff like that. I do intend on getting the last book, which is Ruin and Rising, and then I'm gonna end up just marathoning like this entire trilogy. I'm kind of just waiting to go get that one to start this one, but I'm really excited. I've had my eye on this trilogy for a while now, so I'm actually really like, this is definitely like behind Throne of Glass. This is definitely like my second series that I want to be marathoning. Like hopefully this month, if not. I'm gonna cry. Cry myself to sleep. The next book I have is, ironically, the second book to the Throne of Glass series, and it is The Crown of Midnight. I can't give you a synopsis on this one because I've yet to read the first one, and I only know like a little bit about what Throne of Glass is, but I know everyone's been raving about it, and I'm actually really, this is like my top series that I want to be reading like as soon as possible. But I'm waiting to get Airfire and the Assassin's Blade, so I want to be able to marathon through all of that. Definitely keep an eye out for this because I'm definitely going to be doing a review on these ones. I know that for a fact. So look out for it. The next book I have has been out for a while, I know. Yeah, a while. 2006 it's saying. But it is The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor. This follows a princess named Alice Hart who is who's like kind of on the run from her aunt, her murderous Aunt Fred. That's what it's saying in the summary. Her and her bodyguard, Hatter Madigan, I want to say, yeah, Madigan, escape to our world through the Pool of Tears. Her and Hatter kind of get separated, so she ends up meeting this author and tells him about her crazy story through Wonderland. The Hatter's trying to get back to Alice to try to get her, like, you know, trying to, like, find her and then bring her back to Wonderland. So I'm excited. I always love, like, Alice in Wonderland adaptations. Like, it's always fun to see how the author kind of, like, takes a spin, and I love to see how they imagine Wonderland, like, their world of Wonderland is. Like, so it's really excited. I'm excited for all these books. So excuse me if I say I'm excited for everything. So the next book, I kind of got it like the last second. I was walking around the Strand with like my tote bag full of like, you know, 9 different books, and I turned the corner like just like I was about to walk downstairs away from the YA section. I turn the corner and I see it like in the corner of my eye, and I go, oh, there's no way I'm not gonna not get this book because everyone's been going crazy about this book, and it is The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. Yeah, I'm like superly excited to read this one. I know the second book has just come out, and I'm excited to jump in on this bandwagon. For those of you who don't know what it's about, it is about a princess, Princess Kasie, has to ascend to her rightful place as queen, and I know that people are saying that it's split into 3 different parts, about her ascending to the throne, her like assuming the throne, and then her having to go through this court of where like people want her dead, and like I'm really excited to read this one because I love me some fantasy books. I love how different the worlds are. It's just, I'm gonna sit here and read. Just kidding. Once I finish this one, I'm definitely gonna be doing a review for it, so you know, keep an eye out for it. You've been warned. I'm like banging on my books over here. I'm sorry, books, I still love you. The next book I have is Eve and Adam by Michael Grant and Katherine Applegate. I haven't seen many people like talk about it, but you know me, like I don't really rely on a lot of people's judgment. Like even if people are saying this book is bad, like I'm gonna go read it for myself and find out for myself if it's bad or not. I do know that the main character, Eve, was in a car crash. It was in a car accident. She finds herself in her mom's like biopharmaceutical lab. She feels like she's gonna end up like dying of boredom, and her mom tells her, like, comes into her room and says, you know, Eve, I want you to make the perfect boy. And you know, the story kind of goes on from there. We'll see how this one goes. The next book I got from the Strand is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Now I know I'm like superly late on this book. I know like anyone has read this book already, and I'm kind of like late on it. So please forgive me. I'm cool, I swear. My book is defective. It's like has 2 pages that aren't cut from one another. What is this? So I want to get in this bandwagon. I want to see what's so great about this book. I'm excited to see how 2 different characters, like completely different, like opposite characters, can collide and become friends and go through all these different adventures. So I'm kind of excited to see how this one goes. The next one I got at the Strand was Poison Apples by Lilly Archer. It is about 3 different girls. Alice, Rena. Oh my god, my name is Rena too. Rena? Like, it's spelled different than my name. But, Rena and Molly. They are 3 stepdaughters of 3 evil stepmoms. All 3 of them end up meeting at a posh boarding school, and they want to plot their revenge against their stepmothers, I suppose. It's supposed to be, I guess, not really a retelling, kind of like a retelling of Cinderella, Snow White, and Rapunzel. If you guys have read any of these books or see any books that you want to, like, totally check out, leave a comment down below or like the video, you know, just let me know. I would love some feedback, guys. Like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Come on, like, I need it. Now, the last book I got at the Strand was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Now, this book has been getting major, 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 major hype. So I'm hoping that I'm not let down. Like I said though, like even if a book was bad, I would read it for myself just to figure it out. I know that this book follows two main characters, Leigh and Elias. Leigh is trying to seek help because her brother has been imprisoned by the militia, um, and she seeks help from the rebellion. And Elias is trying to leave the military, like he's trying to escape and get his freedom. So, like, I heard great things about this book, so I'm really excited to get this one started. So yeah, I lied. It's 27 books. I went to Barnes & Noble before I left to go to New York, and I got 3 books because I really wanted to get one of the books that I'm going to mention. So the first book that I got was Fangirl by Rowell. I bought the collector's edition. I'm going to leave a picture here somewhere on the screen. I'm really, 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 really excited to start that one because I feel like I'm going to be able to relate to Kath, because Kath is exactly like I am. I'm a total fangirl. I have like millions of different fandoms that I love, that I follow, that, you know, I'm a total nerd for. But I'm excited to see her come out of her shell because, like, me, I'm not very, like, I would consider myself an introvert, so I'm not really huge on putting myself out there. Like, even talking to you guys and YouTube, it's still kind of weird for me, so I'm kind of excited to see her come out of her shell because it's like, it'll like prompt me to want to come out of my shell a little bit. The second book I got at Barnes & Noble during that trip was I'm Princess X by Cherie Priest. This book, like, seems like something that I would really enjoy because, like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's, like, comic pages in there. There's, like, little inserts from, like, the comic itself. So it's like you get the visualization of what Princess X is. Now, the last book I got at Barnes & Noble during that trip was Akatar, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, this is another book that I've heard amazing things about. Anyway, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but with fays. Fays and humans have two separate different worlds, and it's like there's a border, there are rules that like humans can never cross into it. And this follows our main character Farah, who is a huntress who ends up killing a wolf who turns out to be a fairy in disguise. A beast-like creature comes to her house and demands that she goes with him as punishment for her, you know, for killing this fairy. So yeah, Akatar. So I kind of went a little bit out of order with my book hauling. So I did these the three of these came first before my Strand book haul, then my Strand book haul, and then while I was still in New York, I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought 3 more books in New York, so it's 13 books that I bought in New York. The first one I bought was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Now, I did a book review about this already, so I will be linking that down below below in the description, because that's where it's all located. Look how pretty it looks. The second book that I got at Barnes & Noble in New York is The Fill-In Boyfriend by Kasie West. It's a really good book. It's a great contemporary novel. Please go check it out. The third and last book that I bought at New York was Dream a Little Dream by Kerstin Gier. Now, this is the first book in her upcoming trilogy called the Silver Trilogy, and this follows the main character, Liv, who dreams these crazy things. She dreams about people with lizard heads, locked doors. In her dream, she dreams about the 4 boys who perform this magical ritual. The strange part is when she wakes up to go to her new school in London, she finds out that the 4 boys she's dreamt about are her classmates. Apparently, the summary says that all 4 boys are super cute, so I'm excited. This one took forever to translate into English, apparently. I was at Walmart one day, and I saw this in the book section, and I thought to myself that I'm definitely going to pick it up, because it was this June's book explosion of the month, and it is Off the Page by Jodi Picoult and her daughter Samantha Van Leer. Now, this book is a companion novel to Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Apparently, you can read this book as a companion, or you can read this book as a standalone. I'm hearing from Christine from Poland and Banana Books that it might be better to read Between the Lines first, so you can get a little bit more insight. This is about a girl who is in love with this prince in her book, and apparently between the lines he starts talking to her. Now, in this book, she manages to pull him out of the pages, and it's kind of like the adventures go from there. I'm definitely going to pick up the Between the Lines first, though, so you know. No, don't fall. I found myself once again in Barnes & Noble. It is such a bad, I can't walk in there without walking out with something. Now, the first book is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I've heard so many great things about this book, and I know I'm super, super, super late about getting into this, but, I've been wanting to buy this, but I kind of been putting it off, because I thought, my boyfriend was supposed to originally pick this up for me, but, I got impatient. I tend to read contemporaries when I get into reading stuff. It's because I need something happy and go lucky to get me out of that slow, sluggish. The second and last book I bought at Barnes & Noble, part 3, was The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Now, I know this book is about the main character, Ruby, who on her 10th birthday wakes up to find something different about her. Her parents are afraid of her, and they call the police, and the police take her away to go to this rehabilitation camp run by the government called Thurmond. Ruby escapes from Thurmond, the rehabilitation camp, and is on the run and is trying to find other people like her. So now we are coming into the last section of my book haul, and that is local library had a book sale, so I was all on top of that. The first book I got is a book that I already own, but my copy got lost or destroyed somehow. Either way, my copy was in tatters and everything, so I decided it was time for me to get a new copy, and it is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Myers. It is the 4th and final book in the Twilight series. It sounds so lame, but all my other copies are in good condition, and I wanted this was 50 cents, so I mean 756 pages for 50 cents. That's definitely a deal. The second book I got was The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffinger. The next book I got is The Year I Turned 16. Now, this is about four sisters who all wish something different for their 16th birthday. The oldest wants to become a singer. The second one is tired of being the good sister. The third one wants to deal with the loss of someone close to her. And the fourth one wants to figure out who she is all on her own. The next book I got was Lock and Key by Sarah Dezen. I think that's how you pronounce her name. The next book I got was Good in Bed by Jennifer Weiner. I'm gonna say Weiner because I don't want to say Wiener. That's weird. This book is about their main character, Kanie, finds out that her ex-boyfriend has published an article called "Loving a Larger Woman" in a pretty renowned magazine. So she kind of this is a self-discovery kind of book, kind of loving herself as a larger woman, and I love seeing books with diverse kind of characters. I feel a lot of books nowadays just have one singular kind of heroine where it's she's blonde or brunette, she's skinny, she's white. She's, you know, if there are any girls out there who are struggling with self-confidence, like, don't worry about it. You're beautiful in your own way. I have my own insecurities, but you guys are all beautiful. Don't change a thing, ladies. The next 3 books I got are Nicholas Sparks books. I've decided that I want to collect his books, or I want to start collecting his books because I love his movies. I've read some of his books already. And the 3 that I got at the book sale are The Lucky One, Message in a Bottle, and The Notebook. So leave a comment down below. Tell me all the books that you guys have hauled this month. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys!